Welcome to Cat and Jess Talk the Best, where we're going to talk about IMDb's top 250 movies from April 12th, 2018. My name is Kat.
And I'm Jess.
And today we're talking about number 243, 12 Monkeys from 1995. It is a mystery sci-fi thriller. And it has an 8.0 on 523,175 votes. Got 110 votes between when I did the notes and when we recorded.
Nice. Yay! More people voted.
I feel like more people voted because the TV show just came back on. It's like 2-3 weeks ago it came back on.
Okay.
Alright, so the spoiler-free synopsis. An intense film about time travel, this sci-fi entry was directed by Terry Gilliam, a member of the comedy troupe Monty Python. This film stars Bruce Willis as James Cole, a prisoner of the state in the year 2035, who can earn parole if he agrees to travel back in time and thwart a devastating plague. The virus has wiped out most of Earth's population, and the remainder live underground because the air is poisonous. Returning to the year 1990, 6 years before the start of the plague, Cole is soon imprisoned in a psychiatric facility because his warnings sound like mad ravings. There, he meets a scientist named Dr. Catherine Rayleigh and Jeffrey Goins, the mad son of an eminent virologist. Cole is returned by the authorities to the year 2035 and finally ends up in his intended destination in 1996. He kidnaps Dr. Rayleigh in order to enlist her help in his quest. Cole discovers graffiti by an apparent animal rights group called the Army of the 12 Monkeys. But as he delves into the mystery, he hears voices, loses his bearings, and doubts his own sanity. He must figure out if Goins, who seems to be a raving lunatic, holds the key to the puzzle.
Wow. That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That gives away, like, a lot of the movie. Not all of it, but it's a good synopsis.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't tell any spoilers.
No, not really.
Because I read them and take them out.
Oh, see? You proofread. Nice.
Because I didn't that one time.
Oh, yeah. You're like, whoops.
Whoops, my bad. So now I read them.
You learned. Alright.
Yeah.
We learn as we go. Okay. So, the director is, of course, Terry Gilliam from the Monty Python comedy troupe. One of my favorites. I'm actually wearing a Monty Python shirt right now.
I didn't know that. It just says my brain hurts with a grumpy old man on it.
It's Mr. Gumby. That's one of the characters on Monty Python. But anyway.
He's not in the Holy Grail, so I don't...
That's true. He's in the Flying Circus. Have you seen Flying Circus? That's their TV show. But anyways, Terry Gilliam. So he's done films like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, The Brothers Grimm, The Fisher King, and he helped direct Monty Python and the Holy Grail and Monty Python's The Meaning of Life.
The only one I've seen is the Holy Grail.
Meaning of Life's pretty good, too.
Because I like the medieval ones.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I watched that in high school, actually.
Holy Grail?
Yeah. My teacher. He's like, this is
I
a
think
medieval film that we can watch. And it was just Monty Python.
I was like, I think I watched that in middle school for the first time, but not, like, in school. I think I watched it at home.
I watched it in school. It was pretty awesome. Anyway, so the actors, we got Bruce Willis, Madeline Stowe.
Which I was, like, trying to figure out where I saw her from when I was when I first saw her, and that's why I was like, oh, because I looked her up. She's in a show that I used to watch that's really stupid. It's like super soap opera, which I don't really watch those. When I started watching it, it was really interesting, and then I didn't finish the last season because I was like super mad at it. It's not very good. She's in that.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And then our third one, of course, this is our three main actors. We have Brad Pitt.
Yep.
This is an early Brad Pitt film, actually.
Yeah, it is.
He's pretty young in this one. Of course, this came out
1995.
1995, and that was, like, it came out, like, right after, Interview with the Vampire or something.
So, Rotten Tomatoes, the average rating for this is a 7.4. It is 88% on 60 critical reviews, 53 fresh, and 7 rotten. The critics' consensus: the plot's a bit of a jumble, but excellent performances and mind-blowing plot twists make 12 Monkeys a kooky, effective experience. I can see that.
That just explains Gilliam's work, though. I mean, he's just out there.
Well, this wasn't his story.
No.
This story was Chris Marker.
Yeah, because it's based off something else.
Yeah. La Hete?
Something like that.
Something
it's
like
French,
that.
I think.
Hi, buddy. The budget was $29,000,001.
And $1.
Yep. I just like...
That sounds like Gilliam. Oh my god.
And that's estimated, so I'm like, okay, why did you need to put the 1 there? You can just put
$1.
That's why I wrote the whole number out instead of just putting 29,000,000, because it was like, and $1.
Oh, Gilliam.
And the gross income for the U.S. was $57,141,459. And the gross international is $111,698,000. So that made quite a bit of money internationally. And worldwide it made $168,839,459. Its opening weekend limited release was only released in 3 theaters, $184,776. And then the wide release was in 1,533 theaters. It made $13,842,990. Its all-time domestic rank is 1,415, and its highest rank as of March 3rd, 1996 was 319.
Oh, that got pretty high.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Because most people, they're like, Gilliam, what is this? What is he up to? It's true. Does a lot of weird movies.
Yeah. It has 9 awards. It was nominated for 2 Oscars, but didn't win any. The Golden Globes, Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in a Motion Picture. The Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror, Best Science Fiction Film, Best Supporting Actor, Best Costumes. The ASCAP Film and Television Awards, Top Box Office Films. Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. Favorite Supporting Actor in a Science Fiction Film for Brad Pitt. Empire Awards, Best Director. Sci-Fi Universe Magazine, Best Actress in a Genre Motion Picture for Madeline Stowe. I don't know how to say it. And then Best Supporting Actor in a Genre Motion Picture for Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah. So what'd you think?
That's what I think. Well, I've seen this before, but I've always, if the name Terry Gilliam is attached to a film, I'm gonna check it out at least once, because it's probably what a lot of people do, since he's real connected with Monty Python, and Monty Python has such a wide fan base.
Yeah.
That they're gonna check out one of his films.
Yeah.
I like this film. I've always liked it. It's weird and out there, and that's kind of the films I like to watch. I mean, I love Monty Python.
Yeah.
So, I think that's enough said right there.
I thought it was interesting. It's definitely very jumpy. It's similar to the TV show, but I think I kind of ruined it for myself because I watched the TV show first.
Oh.
Because I like how detailed the TV show is. This, it misses a lot of explanation.
Okay. We can go over that in a little while. their comparisons.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to do much comparison because it's been a bit since I watched it, but...
Yeah. You're good.
I think that's it for the initial thoughts. Okay.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Alright, that was your warning. If you haven't watched the film yet, then stop listening until you've watched it and then come back here.
So, this is kind of a trademark of the director. He starts with, like, bookends, kind of. So, he starts with, like, it's like a close-up of these kids' eyes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like these bright blue eyes.
Well, it starts with the, like, explanation.
Of
Like those green words.
Yeah. With the...
5 people will die from a deadly virus in 1997, and then something else and something else.
It was a schizophrenic patient, right?
I don't know.
I think that's what it said.
I was writing down that first one, so I don't know what the other two said.
Yeah, it was a quote by a schizophrenic patient, if I remember correctly. I think so. Yes, a diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic in April 12th, 1990, in a Baltimore hospital.
Oh, okay. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. It gives a little bit. That's the title card, as they call it.
Yeah. Then it goes to the eyeballs.
Goes to the eyeballs, and there's this little kid at this airport, and you see in this person getting shot by the cops. You see this lady running to get him, going to the man that got shot.
Yeah. And then you jump to like a post-apocalyptic type thing.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis's character gets voluntold for something.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. Volunteer duty. It's like, yeah.
It's like, I didn't volunteer.
He's just like sleeping in his hammock and this...
His neighbor was like, they called your name for volunteer duty. And then the guy's talking to him. He's like, you've been selected for volunteer duty. He's like, I didn't volunteer.
So voluntold.
Yeah.
Yeah, voluntold.
And so he's putting on this suit, and I'm like, that's like a CDC type suit. Is what,
yeah.
Like a see-through CDC type suit.
You're right, that's what I was thinking,
That's what I was thinking of what it was. And he goes outside.
And it's snowy. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's cold and snowing, and he's collecting, like, bugs. I noticed that.
Yeah, bugs, a cockroach and a spider.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 6 animals that he sees, including the cockroach and the spider. There's an owl, a lion, a bear, and there's one more. I don't remember what the other one was.
I can't think of it.
But there was 6, because I counted them. But I think it's snowing because it's they're in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Because you learn that later, and it could be winter.
Yeah.
Because it does snow in Philadelphia in the winter.
True.
So.
I just noticed it was snowing.
Yeah.
So.
Hay uncovers...
Was it a sign that said, like...
We did it.
We did it, yeah.
With the 12 monkeys symbol.
That's like foreshadowing for later.
Yeah. And this very beginning, the scene changes are very abrupt. Just like...
They are. You have to
boom.
really focus. Because it jumps back and forth.
Later on, they're a lot better. It transitions better, but these, like, first, like, 6 scenes, it's just... Black screen, next scene. It's like that's the last bit that they edited, and we're like, whatever.
It's fine. It's good. He's like, just move on. Sounds about right.
And he's like talking to the scientists and stuff, and gets sent back to 1990.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. I didn't realize they got sent back.
Oh, you didn't realize it?
No, because it's been a long time since I've seen this.
Oh, okay.
So...
I knew that happened because the same thing kind of happens in the TV show, so
okay. Yeah.
I knew that's what was happening. And he's sent back to gather information about the 12 monkeys, trying to find out where they are and if they have the virus and all this.
Yeah. Except he's mistaken for
A
being
crazy
crazy.
person.
Yeah, first he's thrown with the cops. Because he beats up 2 cops.
Yeah. And then, the psychiatrist, Dr. Rayleigh, comes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's, like, talking to him, and he's, to her, talking all this nonsense. She's like, it's
1990, and he keeps thinking it's 1996.
He's like, it's too early.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the right year.
Yeah.
She's like, that's the future. He's like, no, this is the past.
He's like, no, that's the past, because he's from, 2035.
Yeah.
So, to him, this is the past.
Yeah.
He was taken to the insane asylum.
The loony bin.
Loony bin! Which I have some little issues with, but...
I was wondering if you did or not.
They're not that bad anymore.
Well, that was in the 90s. I know they're probably not that bad in the 90s. They weren't that bad in the 90s either.
I think they're just exaggerating it.
To me, that's how all loony bins look in everything I've ever watched.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're making a stereotype, and that's not how it is anymore. It used to be like that, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's a lot more organized, and they don't just,
throw everybody in a room and say, have fun.
Yeah. Especially the room they were having. It's like, you get games, and a thing of all this stuff.
He's like, here's games, and some more games, and more games, but they locked it.
Yes, because that's where he meets Brad Pitt's character.
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Who's mad when people sit in his chair.
That was funny.
Like, why don't you just sit in your chair and scooch around the room?
No. He wants to, he's all over the place. I loved it.
Yeah, he was. But
He had one eye that was kind of, a little lazy in a way, which I thought was great.
He did a good job with that.
And this talking fast, he's, really talking fast.
Yeah. And he's like, the games are how they control you or something like that.
Yeah, he's a little crazy. That's
Yeah.
why he's in there. Just a little bit.
And then they're in bed, and it's like a big circle room with just beds in a big circle.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
That's not how it is. No.
I've never been to a psychiatric ward, but I'm pretty sure they don't let you all just sleep in a big room.
That's not how it is. You have your own room, or unless you share a room with somebody.
Yeah.
I only know this because I've been to psychiatric wards. Visiting. Okay? Not being there myself.
She's not crazy.
I was a psych major for a while in college, so. And then he has to talk with the psychiatrist to figure out, they're like, well, why are you here? And tries to explain to them that he's from the future and he's sent back to get information about the virus that wiped out most of the planet.
And he needs to call them and leave them a message. But the phone number he calls is this lady with all her, 6 kids.
So many kids. So loud. Good Lord. I hope I never have that many children.
Yeah.
I mean, I can handle them as a teacher because then I get to send them home to their parents, but...
Yeah.
No.
So he's talking to them, and he calls, and then he's like, I guess... Oh, he's like, it's not late enough. The phone number isn't them yet.
Yeah, it's too early. It's
Yeah.
wrong here.
Yeah. And then it's the next day or something, and they're back in the playroom. So I don't have a better word for it.
That's a pretty good word for it.
I was like, this is what they're doing. They're either watching TV or playing board games, so it's the playroom.
Yeah, they're it bothered me how they were, but...
Yeah.
So, locked up and everything. It seemed like they're more in prison than, in a psychiatric ward.
Yeah.
That's what bothered me, but... Oh, well.
And, Jeffrey, which is Brad Pitt's character, causes a distraction.
Because he has a key. I don't know how he got the key.
Yeah, I don't know how he got the key.
He got a key to get James out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, so he's causing a distraction, but Cole is all locked up, is all drugged up, so he doesn't really understand what's going on.
No, he's He's like, your timing, come on. He's just like jumping all over the place, flipping things over, like, jumping guards and everything. It's great.
And so Cole gets out the playroom, and he's like trying to use the elevator, and the security guard goes, that one doesn't work. And then goes back to reading his magazine or whatever he was reading.
And I was like, $0 given.
Yeah.
0.
He's like, oh, they'll catch him. I don't care.
I just don't care. I'm reading my, what was it?
They found a bat boy in the cave.
Was that the National Enquirer or something like
I
that?
don't know. Something like that.
Probably something like that.
I just know it said bat person or bat boy found in a cave.
Yeah. One of those crazy stories.
Yeah. And so he gets caught, and they sedate him and lock him up in a solitary with his legs and arms chained to a bed.
Yeah, and then he's like, he's sedated and everything, and then all of a sudden he's gone.
Yep. Because the scientists from his present pulled him back. And he tells those scientists about the spider that he ate. Because he didn't have a way to preserve it. And they were like, why'd you eat the spider? Like, you should have just left it.
Yeah. He's like, I'm trying to bring back a specimen.
And they're showing him pictures, like, did you see any of these people? And one of them they showed was Jeffrey. He's like, I saw him. And then they send him back again. This time to 1996.
Well, there's before that.
What?
Gets sent back to World War One.
Oh, yeah.
That's
he does get sent back to World War One.
It was like for a very brief time, though.
Yeah, and he gets shot.
He gets shot because he sees his cellmate right next to him.
Yeah, his cellmate.
He gets shot and everything.
And that's how his face is all messed up.
Yeah, and so James gets shot too. And then he gets sent to the right year.
Yeah.
In November, I think it said 1996.
Yeah. And he finds Dr. Rayleigh.
I've been just calling her Catherine.
Oh.
That works. Makes it easier for me.
I just wrote down doctor the whole time.
That works.
Not like the full word, just DR.
DR.
I was like, I don't have time to spell this out. But he finds her and kind of abducts her.
Yeah, that was really weird. It's like, oh, and she's like, oh, wait a minute, it's just you. She's kind of freaked out, but
she remembers him and all that.
She's like, where were you? You just like he'd vanished out of into thin air, and then all of a sudden he shows up 6 years later. And he tells her to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, to drive to Philadelphia. And I guess her friend or something filed a police report.
Yeah.
Because the police are looking for it and they hear it on the radio. And they also hear this story about a kid who's stuck in a pipe on the radio.
Yeah, that's true.
And
so when they hit Philly, they go to Philly, they find this building which has a bunch of symbols on it.
Yeah, a bunch of the 12 Monkeys symbols. They're like following the paint trail of the 12 Monkeys. And they go in the abandoned
It looked like an abandoned theater.
Yeah.
Like the balcony area of an abandoned theater.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And they're attacked by these two guys. And he kills them. At least one of them he kills.
At least one of them he smashes his head in.
Yeah.
She's like,
the other
oh
one,
my god, you killed him.
Yeah, the other one I couldn't tell if he was dead or not.
It
looks like it, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And then they still follow... It looks like they still follow the trail, and they find this building that has a pig head.
Yeah.
Which he remembers from one of the pictures that the scientists were showing him. And they just walk right in.
I know, just nonchalant. Just walk right in.
Which it looked like a business, so I feel like that was okay, but when they walked in, it was not a business.
It was not a business. It's like a secret area for this
animal rights activist group.
Yeah.
And that's where they find out that Jeffrey formed the army of the 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, his dad is this famous virologist?
Yeah.
Something to do with viruses.
Scientist that studies viruses.
Yeah. There we go.
Virologist.
Yeah. You could say words.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I can't right now. I'm done. He finds out that, he said that he's the one who helped start 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
And that he's all against his dad, but then all of a sudden he changes and he's good, like, helping his dad.
Yeah.
As he says.
And then he finds out where they live, and he goes there.
Yeah.
Cole and the doctor go there and talk to Jeffrey and ask him about the virus. And Jeffrey's like, oh, your idea that you gave me.
Yeah, the idea. He's like...
And Cole's like, I killed 5 billion people!
That made me laugh.
He's like, okay, congratulations, you're a dummy.
You gave the crazy person a crazy idea.
Yeah.
Good job.
And then he ends up back outside because the security at the party are chasing him. And he's like running around playing in the water because he just doesn't care anymore. He's like, I'm the one that caused the damn virus, so might as well just not care anymore. And then he disappears again, pulled back to the present, his present.
Yeah.
And he found out about the 12 monkeys, so he earned his pardon for whatever crime he had committed.
Yeah, which never really says.
Yeah, it doesn't say it.
Oh, good. Alright.
And then he actually believes he is crazy.
Yeah. And she's in her, 1996, and she's, connecting all of these things together. And she's like, wait a minute, he's not crazy after all, because of that story.
The kid that was stuck in a pipe, he said, oh no, it's just a hoax, he's in a barn.
He's in a barn, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and he also sees, because he had got shot in the leg, and she helped him stitch it up, kind of, and she sees, he's like, it's some war, you wouldn't believe me, and she sees the picture, and he's in the background of the picture of the soldier. What was she saying? Cassandra syndrome or something like that?
Cassandra syndrome, where you have...
you think you can see the future type thing. Is what I think what she was explaining it as.
It's some weird thing. I'm trying to remember.
I think she was explaining it as someone that could see the future, or thinks
knowing,
knows the future.
Let me look.
But the doctor, she finally believes him because she finds all this evidence of it.
All right, so the Cassandra syndrome, it's it talks about stupid thing.
Is it a real thing?
It's
oh, look, it is a real thing.
Mm-hmm. It's this psychological phenomenon where it's you condemned to know the future, but everyone doesn't believe you.
Cassandra metaphor is what it's called, but it's labeled as syndrome, complex, phenomenon, predicament, dilemma, or curse.
It occurs when valid warnings or concerns are dismissed or disbelieved. That is because it's based off the Greek legend.
Mm-hmm. Where you see signs of something that's going to happen and nobody believes you about it. Or you know something is going to happen and nobody believes you.
Exactly.
And so the doctor finally believes Cole, and he's not even there.
And she's like, well.
But then he shows up again. She's outside the animal rights activists, spray painting on their walls and stuff.
Red. It's okay, now she's a little crazy.
And then she sees him, and he's just like, hello, waves at her.
Hi. Hey.
And she's like, just don't talk to me. Don't pretend like you don't know me. The police are right there. He's like, oh, let me turn myself in.
Raises his hands and everything. It's really? He's like, I am crazy. You were right. I am having
she's
a
like,
divergent.
No, you're not crazy. Now they're on opposite ends of it, and they don't both believe the same thing at the same time until later. She's trying to get him to remember the phone number, and they go to this hotel, and the guy's $35 an hour.
Because it's a hotel for hookers.
Yeah. He's like, you didn't notice that when you walked in the building?
It's a bunch of hookers just hanging around.
And so she pays him $27.
Yeah, she's like, that's for baby an hour.
And the hotel guy calls. He's like, hey, do you have some lady that does fantasies? Some new lady?
It's like, it sounds like he's calling a pimp.
Yeah, and then I'm guessing it was the pimp that showed up because he goes, this is my hotel!
Yeah. Got a
And
territory thing.
she gets attacked by the pimp, and then Cole attacks the pimp and pulls him in the bathroom and closes the door, and you don't see what he's doing. You see the pimp, he's like, oh God, what are you doing? And then he comes out and Cole's holding teeth in his hand.
It's like, what?
Yeah. And then so they make it to the mall, which is the same mall from the beginning of the movie
Yeah.
that Cole was walking around in the CDC suit.
That's true. Because before that she left a message, right?
Yeah, she left the message. And she's like, it's just some carpet cleaning thing. And she tells him what the message was. And he's saying the message with her. And then that's when he finds out, oh, he's not actually crazy. He's right.
He's right. Ta-da.
And then Jeffrey kidnaps his dad with his animal rights activist group.
Yeah. What's that? Was it biohazard on top of his
Yeah.
eyes? Like, that made me laugh.
Yeah. And then they go to the zoo and let all the animals out of the zoo.
And they lock his dad in the zoo.
Yeah, they lock his dad in the gorilla cage, I think.
Yeah.
Which, I don't understand how they got all those animals out, because there's lots of gates at zoos.
They just opened them all up and said, here you go.
I guess so.
That's what I'm thinking. Then the Hitchcock Marathon, that's where they're hiding out and putting their disguises on after they went to the mall.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, when they showed it on the screen, I'm like, that's Vertigo. That's a Hitchcock film.
And then they showed the birds.
Yeah.
Those are the only two that they showed. But there was multiple ones, because it said Psycho and Vertigo on the thing. Those were the two feature films, I guess, that they were doing.
Yeah.
But it was a whole marathon, because they had the posters up.
Yeah, that's true. It didn't say the birds on the big sign, but it was a poster on there.
Yeah, it did have the poster of all of them. And then they leave there, and they end up at the airport, because they figure out that the 12 monkeys didn't create the virus. Because they see the 12 monkey symbol with "We did it."
Yeah.
He's like, oh. And they found out because they were in the taxi, and the lady's like, you're cutting it kind of close trying to get to your flight. And they're like, well, it's only 7:30. I'm like, well, today... And she explains how the army of the 12 monkeys were all out and everything, and they get all happy because they're like, oh, it's not a virus. They're not releasing a virus.
Oh, they just released a bunch of animals, like giraffes.
Yeah, the giraffes were running across the highway.
I was like, yes. Random giraffes. Alright.
It was funny. And then you see this guy, or this suitcase, and you recognize it from Cole's flashbacks. You find out it was the guy who had talked to the doctor at her book signing, at her lecture/book signing that she did.
His name's Dr. Peters.
Oh, okay. I didn't write down his name.
I did.
And he is the one that's going to release the virus.
Because when he gets his tickets, it says, like, San Francisco, all these different
New
cities.
Orleans, Rio de Janeiro, all these different cities that the virus... Because Cole, when he was talking to the scientists, they were asking him where it occurred and, like, what order and stuff. And the doctor... What did you say his name was?
The one that released the virus?
Yeah.
Dr. Peters.
Dr. Peters had tickets to go to all those places.
Yep.
And he was going to San Francisco first. But the security has him open it, and he infects the security guard.
Yep.
So that's why it starts in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Shouldn't have opened it.
Yeah.
Their disguises are very important because the disguises look like the people in the very beginning.
Yeah,
in this
that
flashbacks.
Cole's flashbacks. The guy that's shot is Cole in the future. And they get shot because they're arguing with security to let them through because they're trying to stop Dr. Peters from going. Because they're saying he has a deadly virus, he's going to kill everybody, and all this and that. And they get through, and Cole pulls a gun out.
Because his friend had given him a gun.
Yeah, his friend showed up after Cole left a message saying that it wasn't the 12 monkeys, it was someone else. The 12 monkeys, it was just an animal rights thing. So Cole's like running through trying to kill Dr. Peters before he releases the virus, which is too late already. He already did. And then, so little Cole sees adult Cole shot at the airport. And that's the flashbacks that you see throughout the whole film.
Yeah. It's like, oh, now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
It all ties together.
Yep. And, Dr. Peters sits next to one of the scientists. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because she's not even a scientist. She says she's in insurance.
Yeah, she does insurance. It's like, okay.
So, I thought that was interesting. And then, it's over. It ends with...
The book ends with the kid's eyes again.
Yeah.
Book ends.
Music.
Oh, I love the music. Oh my god, it was great. I even said to Kat when we were watching, I'm like, hey, that's Tom Waits.
Yeah.
And she's like, who?
I just don't know names.
Tom Waits has this really raspy voice. He just, I love him.
You can explain it all you want. I'm not gonna know what you're talking about.
I'll let you listen to his stuff sometime.
I've probably heard it. I just don't recognize names very well.
You probably... I think he did a song in Shrek 2.
Do you know how long it's been since I've seen the second Shrek movie?
Well, you gotta get on this, Kat!
I watched Shrek the other day because it was on Netflix.
It's on Netflix,
but
I know.
they have all kinds of... Well, they have the Woody the Woodpecker music because that was on the TV at one point.
Yep. What a wonderful
see, there
world.
You go.
Yep, Tom Waits, The Earth Died Screaming from 1992, written and performed by Tom Waits. Yep. He's good.
They just have all kinds of music because they were listening to music in the car.
I did like What a Wonderful World.
Yeah.
Performed by Louis Armstrong, of course. Then I recognize this one because I know a lot of old music because my grandparents, the Blueberry Hill.
I recognize.
I love that.
Quite a few of the songs.
Fats Domino.
Yeah.
There's some Mozart in there.
Yeah.
And Schubert.
I think the Schubert was that last ending song.
I think so.
Yeah.
I recognize the Mozart right away because Mozart.
He has a very distinct sound.
Just a bit. Schubert isn't. It's pretty distinctive if you know his work.
Yeah. So comparison, I'm not gonna be very good at it because I haven't watched the show in a while. Mm. But the new season is on of 12 Monkeys, and it's basically the same concept. Obviously, it's based like now, like he comes back to now instead of 1990s.
Okay.
But it's further in the future, and. He was arrested because he was in some kind of militia type thing, like an illegal militia. Because they could still be out and about. The air wasn't poisonous.
Oh, okay.
Which didn't really make sense to me in the movie, is because if air is poisonous, animals can't be outside either.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna die. But that's beside the point. So he was arrested for that, and he starts working for the scientists that send him back to find out about the 12 monkeys. And I still have no idea if the 12 monkeys actually did it.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't gotten that far. The symbol is a little bit different.
Huh. Because the one in the movie, it's number 12, and there's like a weird...
So, this is the one from the TV show.
Oh.
And this is the one from the movie. So they're similar. They both have the walking monkeys. But the one from the TV show, it's just a chimpanzee's face screaming.
Yeah, and the other one's
the other
monkey
one
walking. And there's monkeys, the circle is monkeys.
Yeah, well, the circle is monkeys here, too.
Okay.
But they're only slightly different. But it is a difference, I noticed. And he does abduct the doctor. I don't remember what I think her name is the same thing, but I can't remember.
I think it said in the trivia they changed it.
I don't know. I can't remember. When I watch it again, I'll know. But I need to catch up. I'm like 3 episodes behind. There's already 3 episodes.
I can look really quick.
But she joins him a lot quicker. Like, she believes him faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because he comes... Dr. Cassandra. Okay. Her last name is the same, but her first name's not. So she believes him a lot quicker because when she meets him, he gets shot, like, right away.
Yeah.
Instead of being in the war getting shot, he just gets shot in her future, in her present. And then he gets pulled back to his present and then comes back, and it's like 6 or 8 years for her later. And he has still just been shot.
Jeez.
And she's like, what? She's really confused. And so she believes him a lot easier. And they jump pretty much like all over time because there's evidence of the 12 monkeys all over time instead of just in that bit. So they extend it more. I mean, they kind of have to make it a show.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's just more details in it. And I still have no idea if the 12 monkeys actually did create the virus or not.
Now you gotta watch.
Yeah, I need to finish it. I need to catch up. But it's a good show. It's really interesting. And it makes you... Like, this picture, with the, like, crow-looking face, that's what made me want to watch it, because it looked super, like, kind of creepy. And it does have a creepy feel to it.
It looks like a doctor's mask from the bubonic plague.
Yeah, because they do go back there, because they're trying to figure out if it's the same thing, if somebody went back and brought it forward.
Yeah, that's totally what it looks like.
Because they try and go and look at all the different viruses, like the big viruses that killed people.
That makes sense.
They try and see if that's what was brought forward, like if somebody that they knew went back and got it, stuff like that. So, it's very interesting.
Maybe I'll give it a watch.
It's good. I like it. It's on sci-fi, so you can watch it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can watch it
Sci-fi.
on... I think the sci-fi website has all of it.
Cool. I will have to check it out then.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Alright. Awesome.
Trivia.
Sorry, I'm coughing. I'm sick. So, some trivia. So Bruce Willis actually did this movie for free.
Interesting.
Because he wanted to work with Terry Gilliam. I mean, if you get a chance to work with Terry Gilliam, you take it. But he was paid after the film was released.
Oh, okay.
So he just did it initially for free.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my god, a python. Yes, let's do this. Brad Pitt received his first Golden Globe for this film.
Okay. I was wondering if that was one of his first awards.
It was one of his first ones, yeah. And the scenes for the insane asylum take place in the Eastern State Penitentiary, which is a now unused prison in Philly.
Okay.
A little bit about that. That was built in 1829, but this is kind of bad. The prisoners were forced to wear hoods when they were outside, and they had to be silent, and they were isolated from each other, which caused them to go crazy.
That's counterproductive.
Exactly. It's like one of the first penitentiaries, so early 1800s.
Yeah.
Of course, we talked about it was inspired by the short film La Hete from 1962,
Which we determined was French.
which is French film. Gilliam didn't actually.
Write it. It was Chris something.
Yeah. Well, he kind of got. He didn't realize that it was pretty much based off that, but because he had never seen the film before.
Chris Marker wrote it. And, Chris Marker wrote that short film, and then David Webb Peoples wrote the screenplay for this.
Yes.
So my guess is that David Webb Peoples knew about that short.
And Gilliam did it, and he just wrote it. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I got one more, which this one made me laugh, actually. So, Terry Gilliam gave Bruce Willis a list of Willis acting cliches, not to be used during the film, including the steely blue eyes look, which made me laugh. I'm like, okay, easy there. So, he's like, none of those cliches, Willis. So.
And I was super worried about that because he does do that in a lot of his movies. He does act the same way in quite a bit of them. So I was worried that he was going to do that a lot in this movie, but he did really well.
Yeah, Gilliam said no. He gave him a list and said, don't do these.
Don't do that.
Don't do these. We're going to make this different.
Because I know that there's a few people that I know that don't like Bruce Willis because he acts the same in every movie.
Yeah, this one's different.
Yeah, this one he does act pretty different.
I like it. That's probably why I like this movie so much.
Yeah. So where it has been on the list before. In 2010, it was number 178. In 2012, it was number 180. In 2014, it was 208. In 2016, it was 234, and it's 243 right now, so it is falling.
Sad day.
It's hard when all these movies are coming out, you know?
That's true.
It's hard to stay on the list. So previously, number 243 in 2010 was Crash 1, or I couldn't determine. From 2004. 2012 movie was Papillion?
Which is butterfly in
Okay.
French.
From 1973.
I only know this because of the musical piece.
Okay.
That's why.
And it was also same spot in the 2014 list. And then 2016, Kind Hearts and Cornets from 1949. And as of right now, number 243 is Before Sunset, which was our movie
A while back.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. That one should just stay off the list.
Yeah.
It's, I don't like Before Sunset.
I don't like that whole trilogy.
The whole trilogy is just... I didn't even watch Before Midnight, but I didn't even...
It's not worth it.
It's not worth my time.
It's not worth it. Alright, so favorite line. What'd you think?
I got two. So, one of them is, I want the future to be unknown. I want to become a whole person. And James says that.
Okay.
And then my other one is by Jeffrey. I gotta find it. It says, wiping out the whole human race? That's a great idea. That's great. But more of a long-term thing. I mean, first we have to focus on more immediate goals.
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
I thought that was funny, too. I have a few. I think 4.
All right.
Though when he got shot and she's asking him how he got shot, he's like, it was some kind of war. Never mind. You wouldn't believe me anyway. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't.
And then, Dr. Rayleigh is talking to somebody, I guess her boss or something, and she goes, psychiatry, it's the latest religion. We decide what's right and wrong.
That one made me laugh, because I know about psychology and psychiatry.
And then, the pimp, after he was attacked and the police come in, he's like yelling that he's a victim. He goes, I was attacked by a coked up whore and a fucking crazy dentist. I was like, that's funny. And then the line that I liked the best came from the lady on the plane that sat next to Dr. Peters.
Okay.
You might say that we are the next endangered species, human beings.
I like it.
Gonna go with that one?
That's the one.
All right.
I like it.
So
There's some good lines in this film, though.
Yeah. So, it's, you might say that we are the next endangered species, human beings.
I like it.
So, what's your rating?
Since I always give this bonus points because it's a Gilliam film, and I've seen this before, and I just really like this movie, I gave it an 8.
Okay.
A solid 8.
Nice.
What do you think, Kat?
I gave it a 7 just because I like the TV show so much.
Oh.
And it wasn't quite what I was expecting.
Okay. I get you.
So.
It helps that I've seen this before.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie, and you've seen the TV show.
Yeah. I'd heard of the movie, but I was just like, well, it doesn't really interest me too much. But then I watched the TV show and was like, well, now I want to watch the movie.
You're like, yay, it's on the list.
Yeah. So, I'll go ahead and put my rating in. There we go. And so next time is Infernal Affairs, which is from 2002, and it is in Chinese.
Yep.
It is a trilogy, but it is the first one in the trilogy. So if you don't enjoy it, you don't have to go on and watch the rest of them.
The rest of them, yeah.
And we are running a contest. For the first person to leave a positive review, you will get to choose a movie of your choice and be a guest for that episode. So we obviously, unless we know you, wouldn't watch the movie with you.
Yeah, you'd have to watch
You'd
the
watch
movie
it on your own, and then we'd figure out a way to discuss it with you. And then after we have that first one, every 10 positive reviews, we're going to use a random number generator to select one person out of that to be the next guest. And you can't do the same movie as somebody else, so.
Yeah.
And you can't do a past movie, so.
Yeah, so none of the ones that we've already done you can't do.
Yeah. And probably not any of the events, because we're probably going to have people join us for events.
We already have 2 people already coming on for our Harry Potter event,
Yep.
which is in July.
Yeah, so you can't select that one, sorry.
Okay. Sorry.
And probably not selecting any of the other events, because you would have to watch 4 movies, and
Yeah.
I don't want to put that on you.
For being nice. Just one film.
Yeah. So make sure you give us some ratings and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
So where to find us?
So you can find us on Twitter at Cat and Jess Talk the Best. Our Facebook page is Cat and Jess Talk the Best. Email catandjesstalkthebest250@gmail. Our website is catandjesstalkthebest.podbean.com.
And you can find our podcast pretty much anywhere. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all the little places. Pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
And then our music, any music that we have is from Audio Binger. And his stuff, he personally is on Facebook. He'll message you back if you message him at his Audio Binger place. And then also, you can find his music on his website and on YouTube.
He's got some really good music on there.
He does.
We're going to use some of it for some events.
Some events, yep, definitely.
Did we pick one already? Which one did we pick? I think the superhero one.
Yeah, we picked the superhero one.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
I have to find it again because I don't remember which one it is. But as soon as I play it, I'll know.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got.
I think so.
It's bedtime.
We record these late, so apologies if we sound kind of loopy and out of it.
Yeah. Especially today because I'm sunburned and that makes it worse.
And I had like 3 hours of sleep in me, so we need sleep.
Yep. Good night.
All right.
Have fun.
Bye. She has a porg.
I do have a porg. He's so cute.